Good evening children, welcome back, welcome to online classes from Turito for the school foundation program to crack the IIT JEE as well as NEET examination concern. I think you are enjoying the online classes, following all the classes through the Turito, right? So you know that we are discussing about the chemistry, right? And in the last classes we have started discussing about the chemical classification of matter. So we are going for the chemical classification of matter, and on basis of chemical characters the matter is classified into pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances are further classified into elements and compounds. Okay. So pure substances we have seen them as elements and compounds. In the previous classes we have discussed about these elements. Under elements we have discussed the metals, non-metals, how many elements are there in the periodic table. Among the different elements that we have categorized the elements into different groups. I have shown you the total periodic table, the metals location, non-metal location, metalloid location, examples of metals, examples of non-metals, their presence in the periodic table, how many are there, what are the properties of metals, non-metals, etc. we have discussed, right. So let us focus on the other part of the pure substance. So this is almost we have completed the discussion about the elements. Let us focus on the concept of compounds. What are compounds? So here if you observe, so we can define the compounds, or we can define the compounds as pure substances. How we can define them? We can define them as a pure substances which can be separated into two or more components. Okay, these are the pure substances which can be separated into two or more components only by means of chemical reaction. While we are dealing the elements, there I have given you the definition. What is that? These are the pure substances which cannot be further divided into simpler components by chemical reaction. Elements cannot be further divided, but what about compounds? Compounds are pure substances, there is no doubt. Okay, compounds are pure substances, and these compounds can be separated into two or more compounds. Okay, two or more components. You can separate the compound into two or more components only by, it is not by physical means, only by chemical means, chemical reactions we can separate the components of a compound. Okay, as I told you when we are discussing the introductory part of the chemical classification of matter, compound is nothing but the combination of atoms of different elements. So when they combine together in a particular ratio, we are going to get the compound. So that compound can be converted back into the element by only chemical reaction, not by physical means. By filtration or evaporation, etc., it is not possible to separate. Okay. So therefore we can say that compound is a pure substance which can be separated into two or more components by means of a chemical reaction, but not by means of a physical reaction or physical methods. For example, in the case of elements, elements are the pure substances, they cannot be further divided into simpler components by chemical reaction. So whatever may be the chemical reaction you carry out on elements, we cannot divide them. Okay, but compounds can be divided into two or more components by means of a chemical reaction. So by using a chemical reaction we can go for the separation. Okay, right. The best example that we can cite for the compound is water. You can clearly see how water is going to be obtained. Water contain one oxygen atom, two hydrogen atoms. Okay, so when you have one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms, so hydrogen atoms are the hydrogen element. Hydrogen atoms are coming from hydrogen element, whereas oxygen atom is coming from oxygen element. So oxygen, atom of an oxygen element, atoms of hydrogen element, when they combine together we get compound. What are hydrogen and oxygen here? They are elements. Elements we cannot separate them into the simpler components by chemical reactions, but here the compound water can be separated back into hydrogen and oxygen by chemical reaction. By carrying out the electrochemical reaction or electrolysis process, it is possible to generate the hydrogen and oxygen gas from water. So we can divide, we can break them by chemical means but not by physical means. For example, I am going for filtration. Take 1 glass of water, go for filtration. Can you separate the hydrogen and oxygen over there? No, we cannot separate. And one more thing you can observe here. How many atoms of hydrogen are present and how many atoms of oxygen are present in this case? We have 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. By combining 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen atom, we are getting H2O. So H2O formation, that is water formation, takes place by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen in 2:1 ratio. If we observe here, two atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen required. So 2 atoms and 1 atom of going to react with one another. So the masses are going to be fixed in this case. Okay, 4 grams is to 16 grams. Okay, it is 1:4 ratio. They are going to combine together. That we have discussed, or that we are going to discuss in the case of chemical combinations. Okay. So it is very clear that the elements will combine in a specific ratio to give the compounds. Elements will combine in a specific ratio to give the compound. So compound is a pure substance which is obtained by the combination of the elements in a fixed proportion. The proportion, the number of hydrogens and number of oxygen that are present in water is fixed. Whether you go to America or you stay in India, water formula is H2 only. It contains 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. There is no doubt. So whatever may be the source from which you are going to prepare water, if you are collecting the water, rainwater in pure form, groundwater, or you are preparing the water in the laboratory, it contains only 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen. The formula is fixed. The composition is fixed for water. So that is to say that compounds are obtained by combination of the elements in a fixed ratio. When the elements are combining in a fixed ratio, automatically we end up with the formation of compound. So compound can be defined as a pure substance which can be separated into 2 or more components by means of a chemical reaction, but not by means of a physical methods. Okay, right. So this is how we can easily define the compound. Generally, as I told you, elements react to form new compounds. If we want to compound, in that case element has to react. For example, if we are reacting the nitrogen gas with a hydrogen gas, in that case we get the corresponding ammonia gas. So ammonia is a compound. How the ammonia is obtained? Ammonia is obtained when the elements are reacting together. What is that? Here 2 nitrogen atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms are reacting together, giving 2 moles of ammonia. If we are going to take in the ratio, it is 1/2, it is 3/2, it is will be 1/2/2, it will be 1 NH3, you can write it. Okay. So in the case of formation of NH3, okay, ammonia, how many nitrogens are required? We require 1 nitrogen. How many hydrogens are required? We require 3 hydrogens. So whenever you prepare the ammonia, ammonia will have NH3 only formula. Okay, whether you prepare it in India or if you prepare it in United States of America, no problem. The formula is NH3 only, 1 nitrogen atom, 3 hydrogen atoms, they put together will give you NH3 molecule. So here when the combination of elements are taking place in a fixed ratio giving the compound, okay, elements will react to form the new compounds. So whenever new compound is formed, it is because of the reaction of the elements. Okay, the composition of each new substance is always fixed. Composition is always fixed. Whether you take water, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Ammonia, it contains 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogens. If I am taking methane gas, CH4 is generally called as methane gas, marsh gas. So it contains 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens. So 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen. So the ratio, the composition of each new substance is always fixed. When we say methane, it is 1 carbon atom is to 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay, when we say ammonia, 1 nitrogen atom is to 3 hydrogen atoms. When we say water, 2 hydrogen atoms is to 1 oxygen atom. So the composition is going to be fixed. The number of atoms that are present in the molecule is going to be fixed. Water means 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom. Ammonia means 1 nitrogen, 3 hydrogens, like that. Methane means 1 carbon, 4 hydrogen. The value is fixed. So the composition is going to be fixed in the case of the new substances, that is the compounds. Okay. The new substance has totally different properties. The new substance that is going to be formed will have a different properties. For example, hydrogen, oxygen are reacting together producing water liquid. Okay. So when you observe the hydrogen and oxygen, they are in nature at room conditions. At room condition, hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is also a gas. When these two are reacting together, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom reacting together giving water. Water at room temperature is a liquid. Okay. And moreover, for example, if any firing is going on, okay. So when fire is going on, in that case oxygen will help for the combustion process. So it will increase the fire. Whereas water, when I pour water onto fire, what happens? It will decrease the fire. It is going to stop the fire. So the property of oxygen and water are different here. So that is what we are saying. The new substance that is going to be formed, how the new substance is obtained? By the combination of different elements. When the different elements are combining, we are getting new substance. A new substance is totally going to have a different properties. It is going to have totally different properties. Okay. So it is having a different properties. Hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas, but water is a liquid. So the physical states are different. And one more thing, if you observe, oxygen is going to help in combustion process, whereas water is going to it will not help the combustion process, it will decrease the fire that is going to take place, and thereby we can say that the compound that is going to be obtained is generally going to exhibit different properties than that of the element from which it is forming. Water exhibits different property from that of the hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. We use water for drinking purposes, we want to use oxygen for drinking. We live on this earth only by inhaling oxygen, not by inhaling the water. So the properties of the two components are different. So elements have their own properties, compounds will have their own properties. Therefore the compound will have a different properties when compared with the elements from which the compound is going to be formed. Okay. And the constituents can be separated only by chemical or electrochemical reaction. In the definition also we have seen compound is a pure substance which can be converted into 2 or more components only by chemical reactions. So only by chemical or electrochemical reactions we can separate them into the constituent particles. For example, here if I am going to take, if I am taking water, and if I am going for electrolysis process, in that case if I am going for electrolysis process, we can generate back the hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen can be generated, hydrogen can be generated from the water when we are going for the electrochemical reaction. So when electrochemical reaction is carried out, we can separate the constituent particle that are present. But when we are using the physical methods, when we are using physical methods like evaporation, okay, boiling, or maybe filtration, decantation, in that case we cannot separate the hydrogen and oxygen from water. Hydrogen and oxygen from water can be separated only by chemical reaction. They can be separated back into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Okay. So that is what is the statement that is given here. Right. So this is how we can define the compound. Compound is the pure substance which is obtained by the combination of different elements, atoms of different elements, and moreover the constituent present in the compound can be separated by chemical reactions. And one more thing we can observe is that the compound will generally going to exhibit different properties when compared with the constituent from which it is going to be obtained, as we have seen in the example. Okay. Now the other side, if you observe matter on chemical classification, we can take it into pure substance and mixture. Okay. So we have discussed the pure substance in terms of elements as well as the compound just now. Okay. Now let us look at the other side of the chemical classification of matter as mixture. So when you look at the mixture, what exactly is mixture called as? While we are dealing the introductory part in the case of the chemical classification, there we have discussed mixture is nothing but the combination of pure substances. When you take two pure substances, take two or more pure substances and mix them in any proportion, there is no fixed one. Okay. You can take the pure substance 1, pure substance 2, pure substance 3, etc. So when we are going to mix these pure substances together in any proportion, we are going to end up with the formation of a mixture. Okay. So what is mixture? Mixture is a substance which consists of two or more substances, pure substances of different types, which does not undergo any chemical change. So we are going to mix those pure substances which won't react with one another, then only we can expect a mixture formation. For example, if we are taking two pure substances and we are mixing them together, and if they are reacting together, what happens? If they are reacting together, a new compound is going to be formed. So in that case, we cannot consider that it as a mixture. So mixture means we have to take two or more pure substances, and these two or more pure substances will be mixed together in any proportion. It is not fixed, okay, you can take in any proportion, 1:1 ratio, 1:2 ratio, 1:1.5 ratio, 1:3 ratio, whatever may be the ratio you want, you can take it, but there is no fixed ratio that can be maintained here, okay. So when these are mixed, when the pure substances are mixed together, we are going to get a mixture, okay. So mixing it is a substance which is containing two or more pure substances of different types which are mixed together such that they won't undergo any chemical reaction. So they don't undergo any chemical reaction, so they can be taken. And now we have further classified the mixture into two categories there. That day we have seen that we have a homogeneous mixture as well as a heterogeneous mixture. So we have discussed about homogeneous as well as heterogeneous classification, but we have not gone in detail about the homogeneous mixture as well as heterogeneous mixture. Let us focus on what is exactly the homogeneous mixture is, what is exactly the heterogeneous mixture is, right. So we can come across two different types of mixtures, homogeneous as well as heterogeneous. Homogeneous, what is homogeneous mixture? A mixture in which different constants are uniformly mixed. Okay, which mixture is called as homogeneous mixture? In which the components are mixed in a homogeneous fashion. Thorough mixing is possible. In that case, we are going to end up with the formation of a mixture which is homogeneous in nature. Okay, a mixture in which different constants, different pure substances are uniformly mixed is called as a homogeneous mixture. We generally come across so many homogeneous mixtures in our day-to-day life. Have you ever observed? For example, all solutions, whatever may be the solution that we are going to prepare. For example, salt solution. Salt solution, take pure water, a glass of pure water, add 1 spoon of salt to it, stir it. What happens? Salt will dissolve in water. It is not a chemical reaction. Dissolution is not chemical reaction here. Okay. So dissolution is going on into the water. Okay. Dissolution process is going on. Salt, pure salt we are taking, pure water we are taking. Salt is a pure substance, water is a pure substance. When these two are mixed together, we are getting a mixture. And when you mix it, okay, when you mix it, after dissolving, the 1 spoon of salt is dissolved in 1 glass of water, distribute this water, salt solution into 4 different glasses, and then taste each glass. Can you see any difference in the taste, salt taste? No, all the glasses will have the same taste. Okay. Similarly, you can also prepare a sugar solution. Take 1 glass of pure water, take 1 spoon of pure sugar, add pure sugar to pure water in the glass, stir it. You have prepared a sugar solution. What is happening here? Sugar is dissolving in water, but it is not a chemical reaction. It is a physical component. Physical reaction is going on. Okay, dissolution is going on. So after dissolution of the 1 spoon of sugar in the water, distribute the sugar solution into 2 or 3 or 4 glasses of small size, and then taste each glass, the sugar solution. How the taste? Is any difference in the taste that you are going to observe? No, all the glasses will have the same taste of sugar. All the glasses in the salt solution will also have the same taste of salt, right? Why the other all the glasses having the same taste? Because of the homogeneous mixing, uniform mixing that is taking place between water and salt, that is taking place between sugar and water. So when we are adding 1 spoon of sugar to 1 glass of water, sugar and water are evenly mixing together, uniformly mixing is going on. Therefore, after the solution is prepared, if you are distributing into different glasses and if you are tasting it, automatically the taste will remain the same in all the glasses. What does it mean? We are getting a homogeneous mixture. We are getting the mixture in which the two components, water and sugar, both are uniformly mixed. Uniform mixing is going on, neatly mixing together. Okay, they are taken as homogeneous mixture. Air, for example, if you observe air is a combination of nitrogen gas, oxygen gas, carbon dioxide gas, so many gases are present, right? So when you look at the air is a homogeneous mixture. So we cannot separate. For example, if I am catching the air, I cannot separate the oxygen and nitrogen from here or from outside. The composition will remain the same. So the air is considered as a homogeneous mixture of gases. Air is considered as homogeneous mixture of gases. Okay. So different gases are present in case of air. So it is a homogeneous mixture. All alloys, the steels that we are using for cooking purposes, the brass, bronze, all are alloys. In that case, if you observe, the metals are mixing evenly. In case of alloys, metals will mix evenly. So we can say alloys as homogeneous mixture of metals. A homogeneous, when 2 or 3 metals are mixed together, we are getting a homogeneous mixture, that is an alloy. Okay, alloys are examples. All the solutions like salt solution, sugar solution are best example. Air is also taken as a best example for homogeneous mixture. Okay. So we can clearly see the homogeneous mixture, the constant particles will remain the same. So I am taking 1 spoon of sugar, dissolving in 1 glass of water. So we are going to get a homogeneous mixture. We are going to get homogeneous mixture. Okay, right. Let us move on to the next one, heterogeneous mixture. What is an heterogeneous mixture? Is a mixture in which various constants are not uniformly mixed. In the case of previous mixture, we have said that the components are mixing uniformly, but here a mixture in which the various constants, various pure substances are not uniformly mixed, uniformly distribution, uniform mixing of the pure substances not taking place, and that mixture is said to be a heterogeneous mixture. Best examples, oil in water. I think you have observed, when you pour oil into water, what happens? You can clearly see the oil layer and water layer, they won't mix with one another. When they are not mixing, of course that is a mixture, oil and water is mixture is present in the glass, but they are not mixing in a uniform fashion. Separate layers are clearly seen, oil layer separately we can see, water layer we can separately see. So oil in water is the best example. If I take a sand in water, I am taking some sand and pouring into 1 glass of water, pure water, automatically what happens? Sand will settle down, water will be clearly seen upper side, right? So the mixing is not uniform, mixing is not uniformly taking place. Chalk in water, when we are taking chalk and dissolving in water, we are going to get a chalk is going to settle down at the bottom, and of course water you can clearly see, the water and chalk are not going to mix with one another in a even fashion, it is not going to take place in a uniform fashion. So these kind of solutions are said to be heterogeneous solutions. Okay, best example you can see oil in water. Water and oil, when you mix it, automatically you can clearly see that oil layer separately seen and water layer is separately seen here. Okay, and similarly if you are going to pour sand into a glass of water, so when we are pouring sand into water, so automatically sand will settle down at the bottom, water will remain as such. So when you can you expect these to mix in even fashion? No. Can you observe the same thing in the case of the sugar solution? Take 1 glass of water, okay, add 1 spoon of sugar and stir it, automatically sugar will dissolve completely. So automatically you cannot see the sugar crystal separately sitting down in the case of sugar solution. Here what is happening? Here the sand is settling down, okay, it clearly indicates that we cannot get a uniform mixture by the combination of sand and water. These are termed to be heterogeneous mixtures. Here oil and water termed to be heterogeneous mixture. So these are the best examples that we can see in the case of mixtures and heterogeneous as well as homogeneous mixtures. Okay, right. Now let us look at the differences between the mixtures and compounds. What are the differences that we can see with respect to the compound and the mixture? Compound is a pure substance, mixture is, it is a mixture, a combination of 2 or more pure substances. Okay, right. Mixtures are generally heterogeneous. Most of the mixtures are heterogeneous in nature, some of them are homogeneous, what we have seen as a salt solution and a sugar solution. compounds are always homogeneous. For example, if I take water, water is a compound obtained by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen elements. So water is, it is going to have a uniform distribution. So whatever may be the portion you are going to select, it has the same combination as H2O. H2O is present. So compounds are homogeneous. The constituents of a mixture retain their individual chemical and physical properties. For example, if you take the mixture, for example sand in water, water will have its own property, sand will have its own property. The properties are not affected in that case of the mixture that is obtained by the sand and water. But here the properties of compounds are different from that of the constituents. For example, as I told you, water is obtained by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen put together, the reacting together will give us water, and properties of water are something and the properties of hydrogen and oxygen are different. So the properties of water is not exactly the properties of hydrogen and the properties of oxygen. So they are different. Compounds generally show properties different, entirely different from that of the properties of the constituent from which we are going to obtain this compound. Okay. The composition of a mixture is any ratio. As I told you, how we are going to get a mixture? Take two or more pure substances, mix them together in any proportion. It is not fixed. 1:1 you can take, 1:2 you can take, 1:3 you can take, or 1:100 you can take. You can mix in any way. There is no fixing in the ratio. So the composition of a mixture is any ratio. It is in any ratio. Any ratio you can take, 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:1 point, 1:2 point, whatever maybe you can fix it. But when you observe the compound, the composition of a compound is fixed by weight. For example, in the case of water, if you observe, water is a compound, okay. So 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom is present, okay, and the hydrogen we know its mass is 2, whereas oxygen mass is 16. So this will be 1:8. So the ratio is fixed in the case of water. Whenever we say water, the hydrogen mass and oxygen mass always going to be a 1:8 ratio. So the ratio is fixed. The composition of a compound is a fixed ratio by weight, okay. And here the constituents of a mixture can be separated by physical methods like solubility, filtration, evaporation, distillation, etc. But here the composition or the constituents of a compound cannot be separated. For example, if you take a filter and pour water, can we separate the hydrogen and oxygen from water? No, the water will come through the filter paper and it will settle down in the new vessel or the new glass, okay. But it is not, we cannot separate the constituents of a compound by physical methods. How we can separate them? Yes, only by chemical reactions we can separate the constituents of a compound, but not by physical methods like filtration, distillation, evaporation, boiling, etc. Okay, right. If you observe the last one, during the formation of a mixture, no energy change will take place. For example, if you are taking 1 spoon of sugar, 1 glass of water, add sugar to water and stir it, can you see any change in the temperature of the glass? No, you cannot see any change in the temperature. Why it is so? Energy change does not seen in the case of the formation of a mixture. But if you are preparing water from hydrogen and oxygen, we can expect some energy amount is required in the preparation process. So energy change is going to be observed in the case of compounds, but in the case of mixtures, energy changes will not be seen. Okay. For example, if you are mixing 1 glass of water, okay, and 1 spoon of sugar if you are adding, we are getting a sugar solution in it, okay. But here if you observe, before addition of sugar and after addition of sugar, there is no change in the temperature of the glass. It will remain the same. That is to say that no energy change will take place in the process. But in the case of preparation of the oxygen hydrogen reaction together giving water, it has some energy change. We represent it with some delta H, okay. So energy change is seen in the case of compound formation from its constituent particles, right. I think you got a clear idea how we can differentiate a compound and the mixture, okay. Compound here we are saying with respect to the pure substance, okay. Pure substance, compound is a pure substance obtained by the combination of the elements in a fixed ratio. But mixture is obtained by the combination of pure substances only, but in any ratio we can mix. There is no particular ratio that we have to follow. There is no particular rule to follow in order to get the mixture. Compound can be always going to have a particular ratio about the components present in it. I think you got the clear concept with respect to the compounds, mixtures and their differences. You have enjoyed today's class as well, right? So we are going to come up with some more information in the next class. Until then, have a nice time. Thank you.